Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. I love me today. I love me. I got this as a gift from my daughter's best friend. And when I first got it, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of offended. I thought, does she think I'm like full of myself? And then I realized, no, she is telling me to love myself. Got that? Love yourself. You can get love from a lot of places, but it's the places in here that really count. This like trumps all of them. Yeah, right there. You got it. Love you. I love you, but it doesn't matter unless you love you. Yeah, that's what matters. So, good morning, Opa. It's good to see you here. Who else is here? You know what? It happened again yesterday. It showed so many of you were here with me in the morning. Good morning, Jonathan. But it didn't show who was here. You need to say good morning when you come in. I don't care if you're late. That's okay. It's all right to be late. It's all right just to watch a replay. I still want to know you were here. I was talking to a friend in Israel the other day, and she said, it was actually Fritzy's friend, and she said to me, "Oh, Sandy, I love to listen to you every morning. I watch you on the YouTube." It was like, you do? I've never seen your name come up, because names don't come up unless you put your name up. Yeah. I love that you guys love each other now. That is so cool. That is so cool. And you met here. That's so awesome. That's like the theme of today's show, is that connecting, that finding your tribe. That's what today's word art is, and it's going to keep coming up all morning long. I know it. Happy birthday to Coretta Scott King and Ulysses S. Grant, our 18th president. And other than she was amazing and he was amazing, I really have nothing to say about either one of them. Good morning, darling. Thank you for being here with me. So it's another birthday. It's Morse code day, da 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 did it did that did it did all that stuff. So Samuel Morse, who was, by the way, he was foremost a painter and just happened to invent the electronic telegraph and then the Morse code to go with it. And isn't it clever that he invented a code that was called the Morse code and his name was Morse? No, I'm kidding. He must have been staying up all night trying to think of the name of that code, huh? Dot to you, baby. But when I saw his name, Samuel Morse, sometimes I make connections with things, and this happened with this. So I saw the name Samuel Morse, and that made me think of an old friend of my parents and mine named Samuel Morris. Not Morse, Morris. Sam and Sybil were friends of my parents, Lenny and Fritzy, when we first moved to California, like in 1960, right? Sam and Sybil had children, and so did my parents, oddly enough. And we were very close in age, and we became friends. There was a daughter my age, but I actually became friends with the son who was my brother's age. So Steve Morris and my brother and I became friends, and we had the same tribe. See, we're still going for that same theme today, finding your tribe. So Steve became a very close friend and stayed my friend forever. I got married and had a baby, Donnie. Steve married Josie. I stayed friends with Steve and Josie. They had a baby, Rachel. Rachel and Donnie were the same age. And they ended up, now wait, there's going to be a come around again today. They were not only the same age, but they both went to Tuvia preschool together. They grew up. They were each other's maid of honor at their weddings. They are each other's children's godparents. And now their kids are best friends. I mean, come on. That's pretty unusual, isn't it? To have one, grandparents, great grandparents, parents, and children all connected. That's a tribe. That's a tribe if ever there was one. And keep the word Tuvia in the back of your mind because that preschool is going to come up pretty quickly in another conversation this morning. It's just, I love connections with people and things. It's so awesome. Okay, so we'll come back to that. So Morse code, National Devil Dog Cakes Day. Yeah, I think honestly, devil dogs, aren't those just Hostess Twinkies? I'm just asking, not Twinkies, but Hostess cupcakes. Isn't that what a devil dog really is? If it isn't, I don't know. I don't know. It's also National Prime Rib Day. I'm going there. Yeah, I am definitely a carnivore and a really good piece of prime rib. Mm, mm, mm. Yum, yum, yum. It's Tell a Story Day, so that's what I'm doing. It seems like everything that comes up today reminds me of something else, and there's a story involved. Oh, it's also Woody Woodpecker Day. Do you remember Woody Woodpecker? Woody Woodpecker has not been around for a while, as far as I know. So, Woody Woodpecker. Growing up in Skokie, Illinois, my father was aside from everything else he did in life, he was also a contractor. So he built our house. Not himself. I mean, he had it built, but he was one of those guys who could fix and do anything. So he did a lot of stuff around the house too. But anyway, it was a 3-bedroom house. We had 3 children. So that was just fine. My parents had their bedroom and bathroom. My brothers had their bedroom. And I, because I was the only girl, got my own room. Well, until grandma moved in with us, and then she and I shared a room. But that's another story. Anyway, my father had this like natural ability to be an incredible artist. I'm not talking about word art. I mean a fine artist. Oh, you know what? Can you see over here? Now wait, I'm walking over. I actually keep this on my bulletin board to remind me of how cool my dad was. This was from 1939, so he was like 14 or 15 years old. It's an old Chicago Sun-Times article. My father was in high school at the time, and I guess he won some kind of contest for doing this drawing of 3 little girls. Yeah, sorry, it's not a great copy. Anyway, so my father was an artiste. And he decided he was going to do a mural on my brother's bedroom wall. And what he drew, okay, this is the come around, was Woody Woodpecker. And it was Woody Woodpecker holding up a sign that said, keep this room clean. Which I guess they must have done because Woody Woodpecker stayed on that wall as long as I can remember. Yeah, it was on my older brother's side of the room, as was the door. So when they had fights, boy, was it fun because they wouldn't allow each other on either side of the room. So if my little brother was already in the room, he couldn't get out. And if he was out of the room, he couldn't get in because he wasn't allowed to put his feet on my older brother's side of the room. That was fun days. Do you remember that? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You remember that stuff, right? Yeah, it's my side of the car. Don't come on my side of the car. My pick. Remember with the TV, my place and pick are saved. That's what we used to say. Oh, it is the anniversary of the death of Ruth Handler. We've talked about her before because she was pretty amazing. She's the one who invented the Barbie doll. Did you have a Barbie doll? I didn't. It's not that they didn't have Barbie dolls, because when I was a kid, they had the first Barbie dolls, and those are the ones that were like rock hard. They had those little breastises that could like break a tooth. You know, I mean, they were solid Barbie dolls back then. Lots of clothes, lots of accessories, but I wasn't really a girly girl, and I did like baby dolls for some reason. But not Barbie dolls. I just was never into it. Can't tell you why. My daughter was. I wasn't. I did date a guy who worked at Mattel. Does that count? And then one of my friends became vice president at Mattel, and I used to do balloon decorating at Mattel. So I guess I have connections to Ruth Handler, but no, I didn't have a Barbie. Apparently, check this out. Oh, you can't see him? There he is in the very corner. See him down there. Bailey wants to leave. Do you mind if I let him out? Yeah. Follow me. I'm going to let him out. Ready? Here we go. To the door. Goodbye, Bailey. There's nothing worse than having a dog scratching on the door while you're trying to talk, right? Okay, what else? What else? Oh, in 2006, construction was just begun on One World Trade Center in 2006. And initially, it wasn't called the World Trade Center. It was called the Freedom Tower. That's ironic, isn't it? It was originally called the Freedom Tower. Okay, in 1965, Pampers disposable diapers were patented. They were a miracle for every mother. Every mother. It was a miracle. But I had a special miracle. I was a single mom. This was in about 78, maybe 77, 78. I was a single mom with an 18-month-old and a 3-year-old. Yeah. And it was a rainy, ugly morning, very early. And I went to change the babies and I was out of diapers. Now, when I say I was out of diapers, what I meant was I was out of cloth diapers. However, I wasn't out of regular diapers. I mean, everybody has diapers because you used them for like burping pads, right? I mean, instead of burping pads, you used them like to clean. I did not do cloth diapers with my children. I didn't because what do you do with them after they mess them up? Ooh, 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 I didn't want it. I would, if they pooped in a diaper, I threw it away. I didn't care if it was disposable or not. I was not cleaning poop, which is interesting because now my job is cleaning up dog poop in the backyard, but that's another story. Anyway, so here I am, this young mother with 2 babies trying to change diapers, and I only have one. So I changed the younger one. What am I going to do? And now what? And then I have the miracle of all miracles. And I can only call it a miracle because the doorbell rang. I went to the door. True story. There was no one at the door, but there was a little package at the door with my name on it that had come in the mail. And it was a sample of Pampers. Go figure. I just live under a happy sign, I guess. It was good news. That was my miracle. I got a diaper in the mail. Okay. I reconnected with an old friend yesterday. That's always special. The daughter of some friends of mine who passed away, who I love very much and I think about all the time. God, Bobby, and Jim. So I spoke to Renee yesterday. First time in years and years playing catch up. Did you ever have the feeling that the voice that you heard would stay in your head forever? Because even if I hadn't known it was her, I would have recognized her voice. Yeah, it was just lovely to play catch up. And then today is the birthday of my dear, 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 dear friend in England, who I kind of lost contact with, my Toffee. I used to, when we would get together, I had this character I would play with her. My name was Gloria Resnick, and I was from New York, and I was really loud. You think Sandy's loud. You should hear Gloria Resnick from New York, who always had a complaint and always had an opinion. Yeah, Gloria. That was me. One of my favorite characters, Gloria Resnick. And she was married to Howard. And Howard would do anything for Gloria. He just adored her. Anyway, today is my friend Toffee's birthday. So just in case you're there listening, happy birthday, my friend. I remember when Toffee had Max. That's her Max, not my Max. Max is now grown up with a couple of little guys of his own. when she had Max, I didn't know what to call myself because what's the name for your best friend's mom? It's not really aunt. Sometimes you call them auntie, but it's you're not really an aunt. What are you? So we need to come up with a name. Help me if you can. What do you call, besides godmother and besides using the title auntie, what do you call your best friend's? What do you call your best friend's mom? No, not your best friend's mom. What do you call your mom's best friend? That's what it is. I got it backwards. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, reconnecting was awesome. The word art today, the word art today is find your tribe. Find your tribe. Stop hanging out with the wrong people. You know if it's someone that you're connected to because you have this like, that feeling of that you meet someone and it's like instantly like, I've known you before. I want you to be my best friend. I really like you. I want to know everything about you, but I want it to be instantaneous. I don't want to have to like spend a lot of time at it. And I'm not talking about online dating. And it can be a guy and it can be a girl. It doesn't make any difference. But you know how you just meet someone and you have that like that magnet that just pulls you toward them that says, this is someone who I want in my life. And by the same token, it might be time to cull the herd. There might be some people who really don't belong in your life anymore. They might have had a really good reason to be there once, and maybe it's done. Maybe you can just like cut it off and say, that was great. Thank you. I used the example with my friend on the phone yesterday. I'll tell you this story really quick and then we can go. I was once being interviewed on a radio show because I had this organization that was all about outrageously wonderful relationships. It was called Kogo Circles. Kogo means coach, and it was about creating these amazing relationships in life, not just with a lover. Okay, I mean that's one kind of relationship, but this organization was about all relationships. It's still in my heart. Kogo Circles is. It's about the relationship with your children, with your neighbors, with your coworkers, with the stranger you meet on the bus. It's just human to human. How to create those outrageously extraordinary relationships and how to maintain them, right? So I'm invited to be on this radio show to talk about this. And the gentleman whose show it was asked me to please send him a list of potential questions to ask me. I thought, oh, that's a nice idea. I've done that before. Then you can prepare and it sounds polished. So I sent him a list of questions and he welcomed me and the show began and he said, so Sandy, how many times have you been married? That wasn't one of my questions. I said, well, Steve, you kind of took me off guard with that question. I've been married 3 times, Stephen. Why do you ask? He said, well, you call yourself a relationship expert and you've been married 3 times? I said, well, who better to be an expert than someone who has a lot of experience? And I laughed. And he didn't laugh. And he said, well, I don't know. It seems like you're not that good at it. And I thought, whoa, this is going south quick. So I took a deep breath, invited my angels to come in. No, I didn't. But that's what it felt like in that moment because suddenly I just looked at him and I said, well, Stephen, can I answer your question with a question? And he said, yeah. And I said, great. I said, Stephen, have you ever been to a party? And he said, of course I have. And I said, have you ever been to a good party? He said, yeah. And I said, no, I mean a really good party, like a really, really good party. He said, yes, I have. I said, great. Did the party end? And he just froze like that. And he said, okay, you got me. I said, yes, I did, because that didn't make it any less of a great party, did it? Yes, I was married 3 times. I was married for 10 years, 5 years, and 20 years. I didn't have short-term relationships, and I loved each one of those men, and each one of those men loved me. And when the party was over, we got our coats and went home. We're still friends. I have no enemies there. Just a whole lot of history and love. Ta-da! So today, find your tribe or look around and see if you already have your tribe. See if there's anyone else to add to your tribe. Because tribes are awesome, my friends. They are totally, totally awesome. Your tribe is those people who will love you and understand you and get you, and you'll get them. And as I said this morning on Word Art by Sandye, in What Do I Say, What Do I Do? Finding your tribe is so worth the effort. You're my tribe. That's why you're here. Love you madly. And I love me. See you tomorrow, my friends. Bye-bye.